Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is your Fanatics Call In Sunday podcast show. You know what it is? We always chill, sit back, talk about cricket, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We've got some awesome guests coming onto the show, and we're going to open up the channels for you guys to call in on the show as well. So if you want to call in on the show, you can just go to the link in the description. The link is there. You just click on it, and you can come on the show and come talk to our panelists, and we can have a nice fat discussion about the Test squad, anything cricket. If you want to tell me about the story that you had with your walking while you were walking your dog, then you can do so too. But I mean, let's try to keep it cricket related for now. We're going to be talking about mainly the test side, and we're going to try to combine our test side with you guys. So before you guys get into the comment section already, I can see so many people giving their teams. Can we just maybe do it while we are discussing each position, because I think it's going to get wild if we all start giving our teams now, and then we're going to have to sift through all of that. So maybe just do it as we talk about the teams and we get through each particular team, etc. And then we can start putting them on the screen. I will put each individual team on the screen so you guys can see. But for the guys that are tuning in right now and you haven't subscribed, if you're part of that 46% that are watching our videos and not subscribing, then guys, you know what to do. Please subscribe to this channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Let's get to it. I've got my first guest, and it's been a while since we saw him on the show. And I'm very excited because I've been waiting to him to come back for so long. So it's awesome to see you back again, and it's Dan. So welcome to the show, Dan. Great to see you again.
How's it, brother? Good to be back, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. We're gonna have a lot of fun, especially when we're talking about your favorite format of the game as well. So we've got our usual, our main guy, Mpo, back on the show again. Welcome, Mpo. Really excited today. Good at you.
Good.
So I'm gonna give the
Been for a
show
long
over to
time,
you
man.
guys. I'm gonna hand the show over to you guys to chat a little bit, catch up, because I didn't tweet out the show yet, so I'm gonna tweet it out right now.
Nothing but professional service here on Cricket Fanatic.
I know, right?
That's professional. Yeah. So let's start with this particular test squad. Let's just start with the squad for now. Something that we haven't spoken about together as a collective over here. It would be interesting to hear what you guys think about the squad first and foremost. Before we get into like trying to obviously select the teams as best as we can. Dan, what did you think of the squad initially? What's your initial thoughts?
There were maybe one or two little surprises, if you want to call them that, but I think all in all, I was fairly happy with the squad. I think from that squad, we can pick the 11 that will beat Sri Lanka 2-0 when they come over this side. I mean, I don't know how in depth you want to go. There's obviously a couple of exclusions that we could potentially talk about. The most notable one probably being George Linder. I thought he was one guy that would definitely feature in that squad. But his exclusion makes sense. You know, there's no ways we're going to pick two spinners at Supersport Park or the Wanderers. So, yeah, unlucky that he misses out. But I'm pretty sure we'll see George Linder when we go to Pakistan later next year. I'm very happy with the batsman that they picked. I'm glad Sarul Avia got the nod. He's been putting in performances for a long time. I'm glad to see Aiden Markram back, obviously, the run machine. And I think we're going to beat Sri Lanka 2-0.
Oh, that's a massive statement. I'm loving that. We've got Apiwe here on the show. Welcome to the show again, bro. We didn't get your thoughts on the squad quite yet. We heard in length. Me and Mpo had a great stream the other day talking about it in depth. So, what are your thoughts on the squad so far, bro?
I was actually pretty happy with the squad. As people have been saying, there's few omissions, with Malan being one who hadn't done badly for the Proteas, and people felt he should have still been there. But I didn't mind that one, and I was happy to see Ervia getting a chance because he's been piling on the runs locally. So it was good to see people getting rewarded for domestic form. So I'm happy with most of the squad. I'm not sure how penetrative our bowling attack is, I don't know. It feels like we can't fill the KG hole, obviously, because KG is KG, but it does feel a little light for me, even though I think it will be enough for Sri Lanka and the 2-0, as Dan has just said.
Now,
Yes.
got another caller, and I know it's early on already. Getting callers already. So, Ashwani, haven't seen him for a long time. Welcome to the show, bro. Hey, where you
Yeah,
been?
yeah,
You haven't
I
been
am
around?
busy in my exams.
Okay. How did you
Yeah,
do?
my
Are you
post
finished?
graduation exams.
Are you finished yet, or
Yes, I'm
how do you
finished.
feel? Feeling good about it, or how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's actually good.
This the week. Okay, so talk to me about the squad. What was your first thoughts when you saw the Proteas squad?
Yeah, I think it is a well balanced squad. One change I wanted, in place of Cheryl Irving, I wanted Ryan Van Tonder because I saw Cheryl Irving 2 3 years ago in Hong Kong Super Sixes. I think he's much suited to shorter format, and Ryan Van Tonder is technically much better player than.
Well, based on Sarah Ivia's recent performances, okay, you see, Sarah's been consistent, but he's been consistent around the 500 run mark, 400 run mark. I went to go look back in the 4-day stats and I went back into his career. There's been some seasons where he only plays like 5 games, 6 games, and not the full season complete. But he's always scored around the
Yeah.
400, 500 run mark. So he's been quite consistent. But this season, he's really been something else. So I think that I'm not sure, Dan, what you thought, but when me and Umpo were talking about it, we were saying that it looked a lot like it was got to do with this season. Some of the guys that were picked, it's a lot to do with the form that they're currently in. Keegan Peterson, Sarel Irvie, I know they've been around in the talks for quite some time.
Yeah. I initially definitely had the same thought, and I looked a bit deeper at some of the numbers. Sardal Avia is actually having a great season, so I'll give that to him. But if you actually go look at his franchise record, he outperforms Peter Milan, which is something I was quite surprised by. We know that Peter Milan's numbers are quite inflated by his semi-pro 3-day career, right? That's something we mentioned quite a bit. So if you strictly look at his 4-day franchise stuff, then Sardal Avia has actually earned a call-up. I mean, I've got his stats here in front of me. He averages 39.72 in 4-day cricket, whereas Peter Milan averages 37.14. So he takes him. He has better numbers than him over his career, and he has better numbers than him this season. So yeah, I mean, it was surprising because Peter Milan got picked ahead of Markram in the most recent Test series. He's gone from the starting lineup to not even getting picked in the squad. So in that sense, it's a surprise. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not unjustified. If you purely look at the numbers, it's not unjustified. It does seem harsh to go from the first choice to not making the squad, but that's tough shit. Not under 13 cricket. It's the national side we're talking about.
Yeah, of course. Umpo, I mean, you've been quiet now, listening to Dan, listening to us talk about it. What's your thoughts on that? Before we get into actually picking the sides.
Look, I think South Africa has a wealth of options, and so as Dan said, Sarah Avia has been a mainstay at the top of the order for the Dolphins. He didn't get a lot of games over the past years, and many people thought he was a short format player. But I'm really happy that now this season he's stepped up and form is rewarded. For years, Proteas selectors never rewarded form. They always rewarded a person who's been in the system over a couple of years, which is why it was very surprising that guys like, yes, Eddie Moore had a very poor start to the season. Guys like Hamza, guys like Peter Milan were no longer in. So it shows that there's maybe a change, and we're looking at guys who are currently doing well, because that makes sense. If you're hot, put him in. Especially if you're looking to rebuild or looking for something new. The lack of another all-rounder outside of Vian Mulder bothered me. Ruan de Swart, I thought, would have probably been happy to carry the drinks. And even I think it was the guy from the Knights, Janssen, who was taking
Marco
quite
Jansen.
Yeah.
Marco Janssen.
Johnson.
As a bowling all-round option, because I think we lack that in depth in the side. especially when you're playing a Sri Lanka knowing KG's out. I trust Anna and Lungi to take the wickets and be the enforcers. But when South Africa go with a three-prong attack with KG there, it's easier for you to then play 7 batsmen. So there's a question of how this balance of the side is going to look without a KG, without a bowler who can take who prove to take wickets. There are a couple of clips on YouTube of Clinton Steeman getting Zubair Hamza today. That was incredible. Lovely balls. If you can bowl those, we can go in with 4 bowlers. But yeah, and I just feel sorry for the Cobras guys as well. I think they just got, like Dan was speaking in the WhatsApp group about Reina Fantondo only scoring at home, those runs at home. The guys of the Cobras have only played once at home, and there's some respectable scores there. But that kind of hurt them, because if you're looking at form right now, they probably would have gotten another game at Newlands to maybe help them pad the stats a little bit more. So there's a lot of facets to the thinking, but we kind of see where Victor Mpitsang and Graham Smith are going.
Yeah. So guys, I think let's get into it. Let's get into the start of everything. Okay, let's get into some of the comments. We got Lubabalu. I wish you could cover the show, bro, but Nampo, you cannot pick Barco for Test now, or even Ruan. That's his opinion, but we will get him obviously on the show sometime this week. When we do our previews, we do all of that before the head. We will get Lubabalu's comments on that. Ashwani, I'm going to give you an opportunity now, because we're going to say bye to you soon. So I'm going to get you to start. I'm going to get you to start off our selection process of who do you think will be safe. I'll let you pick 2 players that you feel will be safe, and if the panel agrees that those players will be definitely in the starting 11, we'll start with our selection with those 2 and build a team around them. So I want you to pick 2 players, maybe a batsman and a bowler, just to make it a bit even, who you think will be definite starters in the Test side against Sri Lanka.
I think Quinton de Kock, because he's captain, and spinner Keshav Maharaj. They are definite starters.
Okay, cool. So can you just elaborate a little bit on that? I want to give you your time to say what you love about Quinton and what you love about Maharaj especially.
I think Quinny, because he's most experienced player along with Faf du Plessis in South African team, spinner in the South Africa at the moment. That's why I picked both of these 2.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Ashwani. And we'll see you again soon. Come on another full call in and we'll chat again. Thanks a lot, bro. Okay. So let's do this, guys. We're going to now obviously select our teams. Now it's time for you guys to start giving us what you think. We've got Lubabalu in the comment section. We even got Aaron in the comment section who can help us out with regards to seeing who is the ones that are getting most selected. I don't want you guys to go and count every single individual guy, of course. Just try and pick who you can, when you can, and we will obviously try and see who is the most that we get in the comment section. We're not going to get it equal every single time, and I think I'm going to take panel's views first and foremost as gospel. Okay, hope you guys don't mind. So let's start this. Let's start with the opening side. Do you want to do this from 1 till 11, or do you want to go with definite starters first and then work a team around them?
Up to you, boss.
Because I think that we can start with opening batsmen and then move down. Let's do that. Okay, so let's start with myself. Okay, I say Aiden and Dean Alga as the opening pair. Let's go around. Dan, who's your opening pair?
I agree, man. Dean Alga and Aiden for sure.
Yeah. Apiwe?
Hard to argue against that one. That's the one.
Cool.
Sarel's carrying drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, James.
He doesn't mind, guys. He doesn't mind. Trust me, the Oak doesn't mind. He's playing first class cricket for about a decade now. He doesn't care.
Okay, so we got Aiden and Dean to open up first and foremost. When it comes to number 3, it's going to get a little. I don't think it's going to get as tricky as we might think, but I think a lot of people will have different opinions on that. I've seen the comments people saying Aiden has to get a show again, and I think we all agree on that one. I'm just going to ask everybody to obviously just mute your mics until you speak, of course, because we're going to get a lot of feedback when people call in. So for the number 3 position, there's been quite a lot of debate. Now, we got a lot of flack for talking about a possibility of Temba Bavuma batting at 3 because he bats there for his franchise. And a lot of people, or he bats in 3-4 for his franchise. Sometimes they need him to, he can open 2. But generally speaking, number 3 and 4 is where he'll bat for his franchise. And a lot of people, I'm just going to throw him in the mix amongst the main guys. But we obviously got Faf, there's Rassie. There's Keegan Peterson, who's now in the squad as well. How are we going to go with this? I'm a guy that's going to say Faf because I feel that the team needs to learn as much as they can from the experience of Faf, and batting him at number 3 would be perfect. Dan, who are you going to favor? Are you going to go with a newer guy? Sorry, I'll unmute you. Unmute.
Sorry. I would go with Keegan Peterson, but I get the feeling the Proteas are going to bat Rassie at 3. To be honest, I would rather go with Keegan Peterson. I think Zubair Hamza performed well. He got a chance, probably not long enough, but that's a different discussion. He hasn't performed. KP was the next guy in. He deserves that shot now. He's young. So he scored the runs. He averages 50 in 4-day cricket, roughly 50. He's my guy. He's batting at 3 for me.
Okay, so Dan's gone with KP. Apiwe?
I'm also going with KP because I think Faf can actually bat even at 4. So it's not that I said Faf shouldn't play. I'm also going with KP at 3 because of the balance of the team. I think we can, the way we're fitting a new guy is at 3, I think. Let's put him at 3.
And Paul?
Where's Rassie's not ideal position? That's my question. I think you brought up something interesting. I think Rassie batting at 3 could be something like that could work. I love KP at 3, and I think he should get an opportunity. The question is, if KP gets 3, how does the rest of your batting lineup look like? Rassie batting at 5 can work for the side, but is that his most optimal position? Even now, if you watch the Lions, he's batting at 3 today, for the Lions. He isn't batting at 4 or 5. Yes, granted, the Lions aren't the Proteas, but I'd say Rassie at 3, with Faf batting at 4. But I'm not. KP batting at 3 is something that I've wanted to see for the past year, and I thought he'd probably get his chance against England, but that never happened. So.
Okay, so we got to kind of split it away because we got 2 guys there in KP. I'm going to have to be the decider. You saying Rassie, I said Faf. So it's all over the place because at the moment, but we'll get to it. Let's get into the comment section, guys. Let us know who you think. Between those guys, who do you think should bat at number 3? Is it who Dan says Keegan Peterson, and in PWX say it? Keegan Peterson, who do you guys think at number 3? I'm going to talk a little bit more until people start giving me their answers in the comment section. But from my perspective, my whole thought process is about getting Quinton up the order, because if Calvin is in the side, and you guys all know what a big fan I am of Calvin. So I just want to try to push Carl in there at 6, and hopefully have a batting lineup of of Rassie and Faf as well in the side. So that's my whole thought process behind that. But we'll get to that a little later. We've got guys saying KP, so I think that's already outweighed everything. So I think guys are going to go with KP because I mean there's already another one for KP. So let's put in KP on that particular list. For number 4, I mean, generally speaking, you have your best batsman at number 4, I would say. 3 and 4 mainly. I mean, obviously Virat Kohli's of the world, Smith's of the world, Joe Roots of the world, all bat over there, number 4. So, who are you guys going to pick at the number 4 position?
I've got Faf.
I think most people will have Faf then.
Yeah, there's no point in picking him in the side or playing him in his position.
That's the voice of the people, so.
There's no arguing there, guys.
Yeah, let's put Faf there. I agree with that one. So now it's the toss-up, obviously, between, for the number 5 for Rassie. Are we going to give Calvin opportunity because he can bat 5-2? He bats there for the Cobras. Are we going to bat Quinny there and then put someone like Varane at 6, maybe. Is that an opportunity? Is that an option? Who's your number 5, guys? Let's see what the comments also say. Before let me just say this. What do you guys think for 5? We've got Rassi at 5 over here. The side, too many top 4 batsmen. There's more SWD oaks that don't get the platform to shine, though. There are some guys there. I know that there are some SWD guys that don't get enough. But like I thought John Duplessis will really push through now this season. I thought maybe he'll get a contract for the Cobras. But I think that because they made so many signings, they brought in Coburn Bosch, they brought in obviously what's his name again? Savage. Obviously to change things, and they still have Jason Smith coming back as well. We've got some guys saying Rassi, majority of the guys saying Rassi at 5, and then we've got obviously Vian Mulder. Someone saying Vian Mulder as well. Let's start with you, Dan.
I am going to make a controversial statement and say that Quinny should drop the gloves and move up to 5, and Rassi doesn't make my side.
Sure. Happy way. Oh, I love it. That's what I love it.
I thought I'd be the one who's being controversial. I still want Queenie with the gloves. I actually want Vian coming up the order and getting in as a batting all-rounder, not batting at 7 as a bowling all-rounder. Because yes, he can bowl and he's a very good bowler, but I think his batting is. If we're getting him in the team as an all-rounder, I'd like him as a batting all-rounder at 5 or 6. So I'm going with him at 5.
Okay, that's an interesting one. You've got some guys in the comment section agreeing with you. So, Paul?
Oh, man. Well, look, I think Dan's controversial pick would then be, if Quinton lets go of the gloves, wouldn't you then want Faf at 3, Quinny at 4, and close this and pretty much dominate Sri Lanka from the get-go? And then have whoever you want to have at 5 and 6.
But you got Markham up there as well, so
no, that's what I'm saying. You beat them with Dean, Aiden, Faf, and Quinton in your top 4, and then have Calvarena come in at 6, and you can have Rassi at 5.
No, I mean
that's my betting lineup.
the thing is, batting in the top 4 for South Africa basically means you're an opener, right? Like our top 4. Like we 2 down in the first 5 overs, guaranteed. And Quinny isn't a guy I want facing the new ball too often. I don't want him facing the opening bowlers of the brand new ball too often, right? I think 5 is fine. If he's not going to drop the gloves, then he must stay at 7 and Calvarena must bat at 5. That's the way I see it. I want KP in my side. KP is making my side no matter what. So I'm not shifting Puff up. I'm not shifting up a 35-year-old for KP. So KP is at 3 regardless. The question for me is, does Quinton Lecoq keep the gloves and bat at 7, and Calvarena bats at 5, or does Calvarena take the gloves and Lecoq bats at 5? That's kind of the dilemma I'm sitting with at the moment.
Okay, so my 5 is Rassi. I think Faf makes this lineup a little bit more complicated, but because ideally I would have wanted to prime and build Rassi around being either that number 4 or that number 3 for us going forward for a long period. But if KP is going to be there at 3, that's fine. KP can bat at 3 and maybe have Rassi bat at 4. But because we've got Faf will probably sit at 4, then Rassi will bat at 5. I want Quinton to move up. For the longest time, ever since Quinton entered the Proteas setup, I've wanted Quinton to bat higher up the order. I think Quinton's our number 4. I've watched him bat there without the gloves, coming through the ranks and playing for the Lions and moving over to the Titans. So this man can bat up there, and I want the world to see how great he is. I'm tired of people talking about Williamson and Coley and Root, and we've got Quinton here who's batting with the tail. But because of what he gives us with the gloves and that all-round-ish situation with him, with us not necessarily needing a gloveman who can't bat, I'd keep him at 6. So it's Rassi at 5 for me, Quinton at 6 for Sri Lanka.
Okay, so Apiwe, you're gonna have to go against what you said. All the guys are gonna have to actually help me out in the comments. Actually, you don't have to go against what you said, because all depends on me now. Okay, so Dan, if you go in with Quinny, I have to ask you one question. If you're gonna go with Quinny at 5, is Verena on your side then? Of course, you're saying he's dropping the glove, so obviously Verena's gonna be on your side. Okay, then I'm gonna go with Quinton at 5 then, because if that's the case, you know what I feel about. I think Verena's mentality is ridiculous. You can't not put him in the test side. It doesn't make sense to me.
Carl
So
Verena's averaged 50 or more in every franchise season. Like, it's fine. I'm sorry. Like, even if O couldn't keep, he'd be in my squad. If he couldn't catch a cricket ball, he'd be in my squad just as a batsman. So he needs to be there. Like, he's scored as many runs as Subby, as many runs as Keegan Peterson, more than Rusty. Like, he's a run machine. He has to be there.
So how this works is, how this type of show will work is, we're going to give Quinny at 5 to Dan. So if there's another thing that happens down the line and we're going to argue about it, then Dan has to forfeit one. That's how it basically is work. Everybody gets one that they say no, that they steadfast on, and that's their pick. Do you want to take your undeniable pick of a year, Dan, and say, look here, Quinton at 5 because you want Carl in the side? Is that your...
Wait, but this is unfair. Wait, hold up. This is unfair because
He's
at
picking
5,
2.
you need Quinny at 5. Khalid, you need Quinny at 5 so you can have your steadfast pick at 6 with Carl Verena. You guys are hanging up on us now.
I didn't say there's no cheating.
This is show. What are you talking about?
I'll work with the rules of the
This is a
house.
democracy. This isn't a democracy.
There's still a whole bowling lineup to come. That's very, very, very crazy. I mean, do you want Carl in the side is the question, Paul.
Not now. I want him on the side when Faf leaves. When Faf leaves, there's a decision that needs to be made and Quinton needs to let go of the gloves. And you can bring Carl in. Carl can make it in as a batsman, and that's fair. But that would possibly mean dropping Rassie. And Rassie's only had a few games in international cricket as well, like everyone else. But if it's a clean slate and Carl Vereen is the guy, then we go with him. But for now, I think Carl will be holding the drinks for this series. Faf retires, Carl can walk into the side. And everyone shifts up.
Apiwa, do you want Carl in the side?
Yes, I want Kyle in the side right now. Maybe even as a pure batsman, even if he doesn't take the gloves. I really love Queenie with the gloves, and I love where Queenie is batting. But I think Kyle, also want Kyle in the side as a batsman, even.
Okay, so that's 3 people saying that Kyle must be in the side, and Paul, you not. And then obviously in the comment section, people saying Kyle must be in the side. Okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity to save one, Mpo, because, okay, if Kyle is in the side, then how are you going to formulate that batting lineup now? Now we're saying that he must be in the side.
The only problem about this is that, look, it's fine. I'll take the one for later. It's all good.
Can I quickly read Carl Verena's stats for the Cobras?
Mate.
45 innings, nearly 2,000 runs, highest score of 155, an average of 50.28. He's got 15 50s and a couple of hundreds while keeping wickets. And if we're honest, guys, the Cobras are cuck. He's playing for the cuckest team, and that's his average. And that's his average. That's like.
Please note that all
averaging
comments
50.
are not the views of Cricket Fanatics Magazine, but the views of the panelists. I don't want to get a call from Ashwell tomorrow.
We have to be honest ourselves. He's playing for the worst team in South Africa, and he's averaging 50 while keeping wickets.
Khalid,
Can't
if
ignore that.
If Ashwell phones in right now, put him on.
Put him on.
I'll show him the log, bro. I'll show him the log, guys. Numbers are numbers.
Okay, so we've decided that we're going to put Kyle on the side. So if that is the case, does Rossi fall out of the side, do you think?
Sadly, yes.
Okay, so it's going to so is this the batting lineup that we're going with then, guys?
Yeah, because Rassi can't bat at 7. You can't.
Yeah, no.
Him. So
I agree.
if he's not in the top 6,
But-
he's
Remember, okay, so remember, we can always change the top orders as well. So Dan can't have two guys that he wants to steadfast stand behind. Okay, so KP, for example, I know he's I know he's saying, for example, no, KP must be the side. Piwe said KP must be the side. Have your thoughts changed on KP? Is this KP still steadfast at 3 for everybody? Piwe, let's start with
KP's at
you.
3.
I really want him at 3. Honestly, I want him at 3. But with trying to get Kyle in the team, the idea of moving Faf back at 3, to 3, getting Rasi in at 4, and then maybe keeping Queenie at 5, that is starting to appeal to me. But I really want KP in the team, like seriously. And that's 3 is the only place I can get him in. So I want him at 3.
I can't not put KP in the team because that makes me a hypocrite. Because I'm always been about giving youngsters an opportunity early. So I can't not put KP. And I love Rasi. Rasi is one of my favorite players. So I'm actually crying here on the inside. You guys can't see the tears. Yeah, Philip, it's a tough decision. Maybe we can fit him in some way. And Kyle in as a batsman alone. I don't know. Let's see what happens as we go along. Let's go for number 7. Do you guys, obviously that's normally an all-rounder position. Normally it's
Did we pick a 6?
yes, Kyle 6.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to pick a 6 and then as well and then put Kyle 7.
No, so I just missed. Yeah, I mean that's personally what I would have done. I would have potentially batted Timber at 6.
Oh, I shouldn't have assumed. Okay, guys, you're gonna go with a longer batting lineup. What does everybody think? Who's gonna bat at 6?
I say no
I'm sticking.
to batting lineup.
I'm sticking with the structure Australia are using. They bat their keeper at 7, and then they pick 4 bowlers. And if push comes to shove, then one of their batsmen bowls, either Marnus Labuschagne or Steve Smith. So we have Aiden Markham as a 5th bowler if we need to. We shouldn't need him, but I'm happy with 7 batsmen, 4 bowlers, and then we go. We've always been our best. We've always been our best with 4 bowlers.
You don't know what
Even without
QDK
KG.
can. You don't know. You don't know what QDK can throw in some lefties in there. You don't know.
No.
Okay, guys.
If Smith can do it,
I have a serious worry that we won't be. I have a worry we might struggle to take 20 wickets without KG, and that's why I wanted that 7th batsman spot to be Vian Mulder.
But there's a question though. Why does having 5 bowlers mean you're more likely to take 20 wickets?
To share the load. No, to share the load, and if an injury happens, but to share the load and give them some, and give the captain options. I have a sick feeling that we might actually even drop Keshav and bowl Vian Mulder as a 4th and go with 4 seamers on the high felt and have 7 batsmen. But I don't want to play without a spinner, so Keshav will always be in my side. The only issue is, of the 6 batsmen we've named, or 5 we've named, Aiden's the only different type of spinner to Keshav because he's a right-arm offie, whereas Dean's a golden arm anyway. I hold him just for 2 overs, I need a wicket. So I just don't want to. I don't want to. Especially because if KG's there, I can go 7-4 because I know what I get in KG. I understand what I get in KG. Anrich is very new. Lungi's there and thereabouts. He hasn't led a bowling attack, and we're going to be asking a lot of him in this series. And so I just think Quinton might need an extra hand. Just like how when we played England, Dwayne Pretorius was always around. He didn't bowl much, but he was always around in case we needed to use him.
Yeah, but I mean, we played Dwayne Pretorius as a specialist bowler. We batted the Oak after Vernon Philander. So we don't want to be in that situation again, which is poor. Like, I'm a massive Vian Mulder fan. I'm a massive Vian Mulder fan. I would have, I'll pick this guy every day of the week. My only problem with him is he's played 4 franchise games over the last 2 years. He didn't play last year, and now we're going to throw him in a Test cricket. The guy's just come back to 4-day cricket, and now it's like, okay, cool, you're our Test all-rounder, which is rough. Now, a home series against Sri Lanka is probably the series to do it, right? You can't
Yeah.
really get an easier introduction into Test cricket than a home series against Sri Lanka. Maybe the West Indies. So yeah, it might work, but like in my opinion, your batting all-rounder almost needs to make the team as a batsman. You can't be a Mickey Mouse Dwayne Pretorius like
Yeah.
Dean Mulder needs to almost make that side as a batsman.
He needs to average
Which-
about 35 in that 7 spot.
Exactly. And it's tough, man. Like he's played 4 games in the last 18 months to 2 years, and we're going to put him in that Test side, which is rough. Now, you would think George Linder comes to mind as the all-rounder, but obviously we don't want another spinner. We can't play 2 spinners in the high fault. It doesn't work. So it speaks to our lack of batting all-rounders. Like, obviously, Dwayne and Andile come back into the equation, but they're not batting all-rounders. So I agree that a fully fit and fully informed Dean Mulder makes the side. But a guy who's hardly played red ball cricket in the last 2 years doesn't make the side. And if we're prepared to play 4 bowlers with Rabada, let's get used to it. If like I said, we're not going to Australia, we're not going to India, we're not going to England. We're at home against Sri Lanka. Like, we'll be fine with 4 bowlers, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's an unpopular one, though.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up this guy's Dean Mulder's batting stats quickly in first class cricket and separate it from his Gauteng. Obviously. He hasn't really played.
Dean Mulder's 4-day stats are incredible. He averages like 50 with a bat and 20 odd with the ball.
And 23 with the ball.
It's incredible. He's just come off 190. Yeah.
For the Lions, he scored 21. He played 21 matches, 33 innings. His average is 47.28. So that's 400s and 350s. So as a number 7, batting with stats like that. But I understand what Dan's talking about with regards to getting him back fully fit and into the. That's why I was very surprised that they actually picked him. I think if Dwayne Pretorius wasn't, I think if I don't disagree that he has the potential to be that number 7 for South Africa, or even a number 5 that can bat. Maybe I mean a number 5 that can bowl. I mean I'm not denying that he has the opportunity or the ability to be able to make it there. I'm thinking about him because I feel that initially he was rushed. He played 2 games with Gauteng and he was already in the Test side almost. Like they were already pushing him into that mindset already. He played a couple of 4-day cricket games and then he was already in the Proteas side. It went from captaining his schools side straight to Kaya Majola week in his school uniform in the Lions sitting in the changing room, looking at Jeffrey Tejano with his school uniform on. I mean, that's the first time he met him. And almost straight into the national setup. I think that rushing him into that kind of, I wouldn't blame it completely on him getting injuries, but I think it was a massive part to play in him getting those injuries. Because I feel that the level of cricket, there was no time for him to actually settle himself in, get some momentum going. And I think he is kind of being rushed into this particular Test match. But we need to make a decision here, guys.
So guys, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Kesha's position, based on the fact that we're playing in the high felt, do we need to go into the Test with Kesha?
I don't think so. Based on what the high felt has been offering the 4-day campaign, it was offering a lot for seamers, new ball bowlers. We can see teams being skittled over there. I think it's going to suit seamers more.
Yeah.
So maybe not. I don't know how Dan feels about not having a spinner. I like having a spinner in the side.
Yes, but here's the thing. If I need someone to do, a job with the ball spinning wise, can I rely on Dina? And that's the question I think the selectors will have to grapple with. Can you rely on Dina Alga to give you about 10 overs a day to cover up if something seriously goes wrong and your pacers can't do anything?
So let's make a decision.
Well,
the thing is, we've never had an issue playing 4 seamers in a game, right? The only problem is our 4 seamers used to be Del Steyn, Vernon Philander, Morne Morkel, and Rabada or Abbott. If we play 4 seamers, it's going to be Nokia with 4 games, maybe 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Björn Hendricks with 1, and Glenton Steelman on debut. So you're going to have 6 caps, or roughly 6-7 caps between our three of our 4 seamers, which is you're asking for trouble there.
My concern, when we spoke to him before, my concern was how many debutants we have potential debutants we have in that squad. It's like, are we even going to see half of them even play? That was my concern. I mean, that's my whole thought about this. But if we're going to go with Quinton at 5, like we said, 6, are we going to pick the wicketkeeper at 6, or are we going to pick the wicketkeeper at 7? That's the decision we need to make now. So we know Dan's choice. Who did you say, Dan, at 6, actually? Sorry.
I'd pick Pavuma.
Temba. You pick Temba at 6. Apiwe?
If we're going with Queenie at 5, I'm going with the keeper at 6, and I want Vian in the team. I feel like the argument of this inexperienced bowling attack means that Queenie does need an extra bowler, not a Dean Elgar or Aiden Marker. The fact that we've picked Vian in the squad, I think he pushed into having to pick him, because there's that we don't have another all-rounder in the squad.
Look, so
I don't think Vian Mulder would be there if Dwayne Pretorius wasn't injured. I'll be honest. I think if Dwayne Pretorius was fit, they would have picked him. And we wouldn't play Dwayne. Well, I wouldn't play Dwayne Pretorius in the side. I'm not going to pick a Oak and then bat him. I'm not going to pick a batting all-rounder and bat him at like 8. It's not. So based on that, I think I'm just making an assumption there, but they wouldn't have picked Vian Mulder if Dwayne Pretorius was fit. So to put him in, I don't know, as a first choice with hardly any cricket under his belt is a big ask. Definitely going forward, I think he's the guy. He's the only guy, apart from maybe Jason Smith, who's actually scoring runs in the top 6 and actually bowling as a genuine option. So he's definitely the guy going forward, but I'd be hesitant to rush him in now. I think George Linder will be the guy in Pakistan. I think we'll potentially play 2 spinners in Pakistan. I think George Linder will slot in at 7.
Yeah.
I am a bit scared of not having a 5th bowling option, though. I'm a little bit scared on that.
Look, let's pray that there's no injuries and go batsmen and 4 bowlers. And in that case, I'll go with the 5 that you've named, and then I go Temba at 6.
And not Rassi, maybe.
No, Rassi needs to bat 1 to 5.
Top 4.
Yeah,
okay.
He needs like
Temba at 6.
Like Temba's made a name. Temba and Rassi should bat in the top 4 for their franchise, but Rassi I don't think can do the role Temba's done for the Proteas of the past 5 years. So Temba at 6.
Okay, so we're going with
if we are 50 for 4 on the morning of the first test, I want Temba batting. I'd rather have Temba than Rassi, to be honest.
Okay. Piwe?
I agree. If you're not going with the all-rounder, I'm also picking Temba. If the all-rounder is not in, I'm picking Temba.
The same year. I think that if we don't, well, obviously you know what I would have done. I would have dropped KP and moved everybody up. But obviously for this particular stream, it's obviously not going to work. So I'm Temba at 6. I think Temba is the best in that position currently. Obviously, I like Calvarena there, but we're going to put our keeper obviously at 7. Like we're going to follow that successful mode.
Your time is coming.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna have now it's started to get interesting. Because Aiden, Dean, KP, Faf, Quinton, Temba, Carl, 8. Let's get into our bowlers because we got a lot of them to speak about. Or not so many to speak about actually because KG is injured now. But who definitely starts? I think personally I would go Andrich and Lungi are definite starters.
Yes.
So can we all say that they definitely starters? Can we just say 8 and 9 at KG and Lungi and
We'll
Anna?
move it around. Lungi and Anna at 8 and 9, and then if Kesh,
move the order around.
I don't think it's really. Let's just say I don't think it's really that order is really important, to be honest. If it's a night watchman,
If
then
Kesh
obviously
is there, he goes at 8.
Yeah, if KG is there, you'll go with Atheist. But Anas is now there, so let's say Anna. I'm gonna say Anna, guys. If you don't understand who Anna is, just please. It's about characters. I don't have a lot of characters to work with. So 9. We're gonna go with Lungi for now, and then 10 and 11 is the question marks. So okay, this is gonna be tough. Okay, so we've got Kyle, Andif Nokia, Lungi Ngidi, 10 and 11. I'm gonna start. I think Blinton must start. With the new, you see, this is where it's gonna get tricky. So I'm gonna give you a short stat quickly about Glenn. Oh, not really a stat, it's my observation basically about him. Clinton Steerman is a type of guy, and I was sitting in the stands with someone. I'm not sure if he's gonna want me to mention his name, but he's been a coach, he's a scout as well. So I've been sitting with him for quite some time in the stands. And he mentioned something important to me. He said that just watch when Glenton Steelman bowls, he's very good with the new ball, but in his second spells, he doesn't necessarily take a wickets with the old ball. So he's a very good new ball bowler. And we could see, obviously, today the way he bowled against the Cobras. He's very good with the new ball. With Andrich Nokia's pace, it might be better for him to rather take the old ball rather than someone like Glenton taking the old ball and maybe opening up with Lungi and with Glenton. That's if you're going to pick Glenton. That's the problem. The first question that has to be asked here, are we going to go with a spinner or without a spinner? Because that just makes everything easy then. So Dan,
given that the first test is at Supersport Park, I would play it safe. I'd go with Keshav. I'm not going to give Quinny pretty much 3 brand new fast bowlers and hamstring him like that, right? If we're only going to play 4 bowlers, you don't want 3 of them to pretty much be brand new to Test cricket. So I'm going to go with Keshav. If it's really not working, you can go with the 4 seamers at the Wanderers in the second match. But it's going to be a really inexperienced bowling attack. I just think it looks a lot more solid with Keshav, who's played as many tests as he has. Lungi and Nokia obviously definite starters. So for me, it's definitely Keshav, definitely Lungi, and definitely Nokia. And then the decision we need to make is either Glenton Steerman or Bjorn Hendricks. My opinion on Bjorn Hendricks is that he's a phenomenal franchise bowler. I checked his stats earlier. He averages about 23 odd at a franchise level, which is insane, right? He's been doing that for years now. I'm not sure what his SAA record looks like, but he got the nod at a test level. He did take 5 wickets. Granted, it wasn't the best 5 wickets. They were just trying to smash him all over the park. But you have to stick with him, right? You can't how do you justify picking Glenton Steerman ahead of him? What did Steerman do to leapfrog him in the pecking order to get the nod ahead in that test? As much as I love the guy and as much as he's been looking good in the last couple of games, I think Bjorn Hendricks has to play. He's a left-hander as well, which helps.
Okay, beware. Are we going to go with a spinner? Or are we going to go with the full seam attack?
We have to go with the spinner, even if it's not because those guys are inexperienced, but 4 bowling options, all being seam, inexperienced, and some with a few injury records. So I think we have to pick the spinner, especially if we pick Glenton and we're saying he doesn't bowl well with the old ball. At least we have Keshav bowling most of the overs with the old ball. So we have to pick Keshav. Keshav is sure with those first 2.
Paul?
Yeah, I'm with Abu and Dan here. Keshav has to play, especially at Centurion. And also helps because here's the thing. I think if our bowlers, because South Africa always starts badly, and we'll always start a series very badly. First session, we might not get as many wickets as we'd like. That session after lunch is going to be very important. And to have a lot of inexperienced fast bowlers trying to search for wickets, you might find it hard. Quinton might find it very hard. So if you have Keshav probably holding up an end, and yes, it will be day one at Centurion. The wicket's slightly flatter these days. Over the past 4-day games, it's been quite, even today, with the runs that were scored today, you kind of like, okay, cool. It's a great balance between bat and ball. So Keshav might have something to do holding up an end to try and get the guys looking and searching for wickets. So I think Kesh has to always play. Well, I want him to play always, even at the Wanderers, but that's for me and my God to deal with. So Kesh is in at Centurion, guys. The bowler I would select is Björn Hendricks. I think Björn's had a great start to the 4-day series for the Lions. I think he's been the talisman before he went on and joined the bubble with England. He was the guy who kept the Lions in games, who tried to who was the leader of that Lions attack. And Glinton, yes, he want to see him play. I think he's bowled well, but if you, as you say, Khalid, he struggles after the first spell. Then it's going to be a very long day for Quinton, because if he's not that great, then you might find your situation where you'd have to wait for another 70 or odd overs or 60 odd overs for you to give Glinton the ball again, or in the parts where Glinton gets the ball in overs 40, 50, 60, he might not be as efficient. And maybe that's the part of the game that he needs to work on with Charles Langenfeld. But I don't think, especially against the Sri Lanka side, who can put you to the sword if you're not. Remember, this is Test cricket. If your lines and lengths are slightly off, you could find yourself in trouble. So Björn took a 5 against England. Yes, Faf put him out to dry with Dane Patterson there at the Wanderers for many periods in the game, and he managed to take the 5. Even though I think Faf was trying to show the selectors that he doesn't want this guy to play international cricket. But I do think that of the guys in the squad, he's the guy that you have to play on the 26th.
Another thing we haven't spoken about is how often have we had overrate fines when we pick 4 seamers? I've seen stuff. I think that's happened to him a few times. Every single time we play 4 seamers, we're always getting cut for overrate. So you don't want Quinny in his first game as the Test captain. He has to worry about that as well. But yeah, that was just my 2 cents.
So with me as well, obviously the decision is going to be about Clinton or Björn. I think everybody's deciding that. Api, have you gone with Björn?
Yes, I'm going with Björn in the 4, especially.
Yeah. So
if we don't
everybody
have
knows. Yes, if you don't have I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So I know everybody knows I'm a big fan of Clinton. And
me too.
My thought processes would have been also to go with 4 because where they're playing, etc. But I think you guys have swayed me on this because of the experience of the side already. You don't want to give Quinton guys that he doesn't know really, and then you have to test him, especially against. I think that Sri Lanka's a lot stronger with the bat than they are with the ball as well. I think that if you're going to take it from a strategic point of view as well. So
just ask yourself this question. I mean, if Rabada wasn't injured, which seamer wouldn't have been included? Who was the lucky seamer to be included in the squad? Had Rabada been there, who misses out?
I think Clinton. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so if everybody agrees, this is our 11 that we've won with: Aiden Markram, Dean Elgar, Keegan Peterson, Faf du Plessis, Quinton de Kock, Temba Bavuma, Kyle Verreynne, Björn Hendricks, Anrich Nokia, Lungin Gidi, and Keshav Maharaj. Everybody happy with that?
Keshav's going to be bleak. He's batting him at 11, eh?
He has to bat at 8. He's batting at 8.
Yeah, you will bet it. I just did it. I just did it quick. Let me swap it quickly, actually.
Yeah. Just push those 3 down.
Yeah.
Imagine Lungi bats ahead of you, man. Rough fun.
Yeah, you will be very bleak. You're right.
Lungi hit a 6 today, but Lungi hit a 6.
I saw, man. I saw.
You never know, man. Lungi's been hitting the gym now. He's got some power in those guns. Let me just make that update quickly. Because I was trying to do it very quickly. So mind you, I'm making mistakes on the stream. So I'm gonna bring on Ashwani's back again. I just want to ask him his thought process on that. We're not going to change anybody in the side, Ashwani. Just to tell you now already, we've made the decision. But I'm going to bring it on, and then I just want you to just say quickly what you think about our particular team over here. What is your thoughts?
I think I would take Rassi Venderson in the squad at number 6.
Oh, you'll pick him over Temba.
Yes, Queenie at 7 in place of Kyle Red.
Okay, so that is the debate that everybody was having. Okay, so you heard what he had to say. Thanks a lot, Aswani. I'm sorry for cutting you off again, but yeah, we have to close off the show now. So
No
thank you a
problem.
lot for giving
No problem.
your say. Okay, so let's get into some of the comments. I know, guys, this wouldn't have been my 11, but this is a combined 11. So, guys, don't actually slate us now for this, because there's some guys that are in the squad or in the starting 11 that some of us don't agree on and some of us do agree on. So, this is not exactly what our sides are going to be. I actually urge everybody over here that's on the stream, when I post, I'm going to try to post this team online. I'm going to say combined 11 with the fans. I'm not going to mention our names. What I would like you guys to do is to just comment with your best 11 in the comment sections, just to give people what you guys think, what your 11s would have been. When I do put this out tomorrow morning, for example, I think that would be awesome, rather to give you guys a say and to have your opinions obviously on the video. So everybody, that was what we've come up with regards to a combined 11. It's not one person's 11. Let's go into the comments and see what people have said about it. So we've got Ravi going mental. Hello, brothers. What's happening? You guys are mad for dropping Rassi. Then we've got some.
Play. We all know he's going to play.
We all know Rassi's going to play. We all know Rassi's going to play as well. Rassi will be in ahead of Keegan Peterson. So remember, guys, this is just a combined 11 of the guys that we fancy for our own reasons. We think that certain players must get opportunities. This is not who we think that South Africa is going to play, because we know what's going to happen. We know how South Africa thinks about their sides. I most likely think that Vian Mulder will probably get to start at 7. I think they're looking for an all-rounder, and I think they're trying to mold a certain mold so that they can just replicate it. So when new people come in, they can just quickly switch it out. I don't think they want to switch around too many things. I think Pouch is a kind of guy that likes structure. I think that's his we've seen that in the T20 sides.
Yeah.
So final thoughts, guys, before we say goodbye to the fans. Any final thoughts? I know, Paul, you can go on your rant and say how dumb the team is or how you wanted this or not, but I'm going to give everybody a say. Let's start with you and Paul. Let's go to P and we can end off with that.
Look, I agree with the side. I think I'm very happy with what we selected. I like the fact that, because I'm for picking outside the box and thinking differently, and it's a side that thinks different. It's a side that you would say possibly is slightly different to what you would see on the 26th. You'd see Rassi in there and probably Keegan Peterson carrying the drinks, but very good. I think it's quite an interesting exercise in the Cricket Fanatics magazine selection panel.
I'm happy with the 11. Just that compromise of mine with that extra bowler, but the 11 I'm very happy with, and easy compromise for me.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm happy with the start. I think South Africa will be a lot more conservative. I think they'll play it safe. I think Rassi will probably bat at 3. I can't see them going with just the 4 bowlers as much as I'd love them to. I think Vian Mulder will probably get a nod. I don't quite agree with that right now, but I can't see them not picking Rassi, and I can't see them picking 4 bowlers. So we'll see Mulder and we'll probably see Rassi as well.
Yeah, I agree with all of your sentiments. I think that they're going to pick Faf at 3. Actually, I think that's what they're going to go with, and I think they're going to move. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that they're going to move Quinton to 4. I don't know why. What's telling me that? Something inside of me is telling me that, and I think Carl's going to drop the gloves and bat at 6 maybe, or 7. I'm most likely think 6. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Temba. I don't know what they're going to be doing. As you can see in the squad selection, we didn't pick him because of quota. And a lot of people are going to talk about that and say that that's the case. It's about his ability to be able to bat with the tail or bat with Quinton de Kock when we're in a spot of bother. We've seen all of us that have watched franchise cricket for a long time know that Kyle Verreynne is an amazing batsman at that position. To be able to bat with the tail, to be able to take teams out of trouble, he does it on a regular with the Cobras. The stats that Dan read out earlier on, he was doing that with collapses. I mean, he's turning out performance like that after the Cobras are collapsing. When Zubair Hamza wasn't there, when George Linder wasn't there, he had to bat basically alone in that side. It was quite phenomenal what he achieved in that position. So I think that they're going to go with that. I'm actually very excited to see, and I hope that when we have our review show, we can talk about that particular team that we picked for the first test. Really exciting, guys. It's going to be a Boxing Day test, and everybody wants to see test cricket again, and that's what we're really excited about. I'm hoping everybody this stays safe. Joburg, be on extra alert, extra caution, of course, because of the COVID procedures and everything. Try to also be in bio bubbles until the test series starts so that we can't spread the virus. No, I'm just kidding. But we want to see test cricket again, and I think everybody wants to see test cricket again. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Obviously, you know what to do. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the magazine. The link is on the screen and in the description. For all updates on the test series, cricketfanaticsmag.com. There is a Sri Lanka series tab on the top of the screen that you can just click on, and you'll be updated with all Sri Lanka series things. We're going to be at the WSL. And Paul's going to be at the WSL. So we're going to be chatting about all of those things. Hopefully I can get on Paul on a couple of streams to talk about it and what he's seen as well. So that's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to be talking about Women's Super League, and I'm excited to see all the Proteas in action and the youngsters in action. We have an awesome interview with one of them. It's on the exclusive interview panel, Madison Landsman, and she spoke to us. Very mature, very amazing. I was very taken aback by how well spoken she was.
16 years old.
Yeah, and she's playing with the heroes like Verora Wolfart, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is what we want to see in men's cricket too. Imagine that we see a 16-year-old boy.
She was bowler of the season in Pool B of the Women's Provincial League this year, and Pool B is the lesser known provinces, and she's only 16. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and she's an incredible batsman as well. So hopefully we're going to see all of that. Guys, if you have businesses and you're looking to make sales online, even if your business is offline, link is in the description as well as a free video on the channel. Thanks to everybody for coming on. Thanks a lot, Dan, for coming on the show. Thanks a lot, Apiwe. Thanks a lot, Umpo. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.